Hey, this is Ricky with Real Talk Chimp. Gonna start a brand new kit here. First of all, we're live streaming on YouTube, Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. This is a 3D wooden puzzle. This is from a kit company that I've never built a kit from. So we're gonna be trying this for the first time. A little bit more pricey. There are about 1,000 different versions of this Silent Corner Study built by all kinds of companies from China, unfortunately. Well, I don't know. Some of the kits are crap, some of them are spot on. This will be the first time I've done a Rolife Book Nook Wonderland set. Item number TGE02, the Silent Corner Study. I've been talking about this since I painted that cozy reading nook painting that I did. All the information is in the description, but we're going to go over this. It's an age 14 plus kit, 196 pieces, has LED. It says no glue, but I find that hard to believe because most of the parts I've had to glue before. You will have to provide 2 AAA batteries. Again, this one, I purchased this from Amazon, but Robotime, I guess, is the company. I don't know. I'll have to kind of look at this as I do it. I will be doing an unboxing as well. So kind of go over this here. Assembled size is 118 by 118 by 249 millimeters. That's tiny. Notice the product requires two AAA batteries. I told you that children must assemble under the guidance of adults in case of swallowing. I'm an adult and I'll swallow this crap. Series name, Book Nook Wonderland. It gives it a 3 stars out of 5. Silent Corner Study, TGE02, plywood, MDF board and paper. It's all the Chinese stuff. Yeah. So we're going to take a shot with this. Let's try to unbox this thing first. That nifty little sleeve here we'll keep over there. So, and first of all, I use tweezers for the little itty bitty teeny tiny parts. Also, I happen to have 2 AAA batteries. I just bought them from Dollar Tree. I bought a pack of like, it's a pack of 20 of them for $5 or something. So they seem, I used it in a previous kit. They seem to last a little while. In some of my kits, I get this B7000 glue. It smells like that old Tester's liquid cement. It's very toxic, so make sure you're in a well-ventilated room. I also use what they call this little frost file. I don't know why they call it that, but I get these out of most kits. We'll check and see if there's any tools out of there. This is a tip and a cap just for that little glue thing. Otherwise, I use Elmer's washable clear glue, so it dries clear. It takes a little while to dry compared to, say, like this liquid cement, but I also use either a scissors or a X-Acto knife to cut out pieces that are hard to remove from the flashing. Okay, so let's do our unboxing here. Let's move that stuff aside. Let's find out how do we get into this thing. Okay. I like the box. I like the packaging is pretty nice compared to most. It is just a cardboard box. Okay. Well, I got some interesting little MRE packs. All right. Don't know what this is. I like it. It's squishy. Feels like it may be an LED light. Let's see. Really don't want you to get into it, this packaging here. It is an LED light. Okay. Anything else in there? Oh, this is a neat looking battery box. Look at this. All right, so, wow. So we get 1 light bulb on a really long freaking cord here. This is ridiculous. This is the touchpad. Quite the circuit board here, huh? That'd be the touchpad. This is an interesting looking battery box. It requires a tiny little Phillips to get into it, and then it also has a power switch. That's pretty cool. I happen to have a tiny little screwdriver, which I'm looking in the kit right now, and it does come with a tiny little screwdriver, so we'll leave that in the box. All right, so we'll put that aside. It's our little critter. We got another little critter here. Figure out. Whoa, this is here. Kiki Plays Games, sent flower for 30 joules. Nice. Hello. Hello, Kiki Plays Games. Welcome to That Real Talk Chimp. All right, what do we got in here? We got little boards in here. Very difficult to get them out. Oh, they're plastic pieces. It's empty. Interesting. Like a piggy bank. I don't know what any of these things are, but they got the logo. Oh, molded into it. I don't have a clue what these are, but I guess we'll figure them out when we start building this kit. So a little bag of accessories. Okay. Then we have another little accessory pack with the little screwdriver. Some other things. So we have the little Phillips head screwdriver to get that thing open. We have a little molded bucket. Looks like. Looking inside here at what could this possibly... Oh, it's a bucket for a plant. For a potted plant. Okay, that's cute. It's a lampshade. According to the picture in here, it's a lampshade. So I think maybe that's where the bulb's going to go, right? This is the lamp's parts. There's a little cup. Let's see if I can show you this little cup and a saucer here. Maybe for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or who knows. That's cute. A little black part. I don't know what that... Oh, it's an inkwell. This little tiny thing right here, see if I can get the camera to focus, is an inkwell. So there must be a feather pen or something that's going to be in here as well. Don't know what that little thing is. Maybe a cap for the inkwell. Parts are so tiny, I'm going to end up dropping them on the floor. All right, so we'll drop them inside their little accessory pack here. It's cute. Some added dollhouse type features. Okay. Little accessory pack here. Let's see if we can open the little box with the screwdriver here. A little bit of a tight turn. My giant gorilla chimpanzee hands. There we go. I'll pop that off. Okay. There's a battery. There is another Phillips back here. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe to get to the mechanics of the actual light switch itself. You know, while we're here, let's try this. While we have this open, it shows a diagram of how the batteries are to fit inside here. So we put the back end or the butt onto the spring. The back end or the bottom. Okay, and now let's see here. Let's turn you on. Oh, okay, that's pretty bright. There's the touchpad. That's pretty good. So we know the LED works. We'll keep it off. Let's see if it touched the touchpad. Good. Okay, good. The light stays off when you turn the power switch off. That's good. So it's not going to burn through all your battery life. So what we'll do is we'll put this little box back together so we know that we can keep the batteries inside, even though I'm sure the instructions will tell us to put them in later, but it's fine. Okay, so I screwed it all back together. Let's go and kind of wrap this around here because it's quite long cable. Okay, and we'll put it back inside its sassy little bag here, tucked away until it's needed to come out. I will note that the LED bulb is considerably smaller compared to the other bulbs that I've used in the past. All right, we got quite the instruction manual here. Wow, this thing is huge. Okay, we've got, not sure what this is. Oh, is it a chair, a rocking chair? So there seems to be parts of a rocking chair in here, a little accessory pack. We have product safety instructions. Build things to life is their motto. Okay, oh, this is for the battery powered products so that they cover their ass. Okay, product safety instructions. Okay, we have something in English and multiple other languages. Okay, so this shows you like the legend. So when they show you these different symbols, how I've shown in the past model kits, you know, the special attention assembly, assembly tips, perspective changed, you got to rotate the part, use double-sided tape, grease with cotton swabs. That scares me a little bit. Ensure the connection of gears smooth. Okay, this must be for whatever types of kit. They must have, well, they have thousands of different kits. So yeah, each one of these is something different. So assemble parts symmetrically. Cut leftover cutting points. Printed side, blank side. Means the part has spare ones. Okay. Wax the yellow parts. All right, these for, okay, so Rolife also has like these 3D wooden clocks and typewriters and all kinds of things. So this basically, you know, is a full instruction legend guide for all their kits, it looks like. Okay, so let's try to get these plates out here. Okay, so box is empty from this point forward. Let's put stuff back into it that we're not going to use immediately. Okay. Put these goodies back in there. I don't see any toolkits, so I will have to be providing my own toolkit, it looks like, for this. This will be in the description as well. Got that off of Amazon as well. It's just a little toolkit. But I've been building and adding stuff to it, so we'll put all that stuff aside for now. Okay, so now we've made it to the plates, the actual plates, but it is hidden behind plastic that is chimpanzee proof. So we're going to try to, without destroying this, try to get into this. It's like operation here, trying to get this cellophane off. Again, it is chimpanzee proof. They do not want you getting into their kit. But this is good. That means that shipping from China to here, everything stays together and doesn't fall apart and break. All right, so right out of the gate, I can feel some sandpaper here. So they did give us a little sandpaper square, different than the usual kits. But Cut-B and QB and all that stuff, they usually have these things here. So, but this is what would be a polishing pad or a sanding pad, so that's cool. All right, we got a nifty a nifty, like wood. I think it's pressed cardboard, but laminated with a wood on top of it, like a wood grain. That's really pretty. And it's got all the numbers and stuff printed directly on it. So that's pretty slick. What on earth is this? It's some type of piece of fabric. Oh, it's the curtains. Okay, I'm looking in the picture over here. It's curtains. Look at that. It's the first time I've actually ever gotten something that isn't cardboard or wood or rice paper. So I guess eventually it'll be all kind of folded down and there'll be a rod to put said curtains in. So that's cool. It's printed, it's textured. It's got a little fuzzball on it. Gotta have a fuzzball. But it's decorative. It's not just plain, it's actually decorative. Look at that cross-stitching on there, and it's got some really intricate designs for carpets in such a tiny little miniature. So I'm definitely impressed with that. That's pretty slick. We'll put that over there. We got some yellow color parts. Again, it's pressed cardboard. You can see the MDX board in between there with a laminate on top that gives it sort of like a natural wood look. So that looking at the picture on here is the desk. It's the desk down here. Oh, it seems like quite an elaborate desk. There must be multiple parts to this. Okay. That's pretty nice right there. And yet another one, although this feels plastic. What is this? So this is more MDX board in between there, that pressed cardboard. Also with a laminate on it, and it's decorative laminate. So you can see all the decorative stuff etched into there. That's really pretty. That's the battery box cover there. You can tell by all those lines right there of how the board moves. Very lovely. Okay, oh, we got stickers. We have stickers? What are these? They're like a paper texture, and it has books, and that obviously will be a plant. Looks like you probably rotate this plant around to give it a three-dimensional look. Never seen that before. That's interesting. So I don't think they're stickers. I think it's an actual paper board. Very weird. Okay, then you actually have stickers, because we're going to be making a whole lot of books. Right? Actually, a lot less than what I thought. I was going to buy this big 4,000 piece puzzle of a library with multiple shelves and stuff like that, and I thought to myself, after that last thing I made, that bookstore, the Japanese bookstore, after putting all those stickers on those little wooden the little blocks, that's how I don't know if I would do that anymore. But luckily, these all look different. I don't see anything that's the same. Like the other one, there was like, because there was like 100 books, there was like 10 of the same prints, but these are all photocopied down to whatever scale that is. Now, these books seem large compared to the human. If you were to put a human in this study, you figure they're going to be the size of those little Star Wars or G.I. Joe guys that are about, what, 3 inches tall? 3 inches tall, if that's the case. Those books are humongous. It'd be like opening up a book that's like 4 feet long by 3 feet tall. That seems odd. Really weird scale. I don't know what the exact scale of these things are. I'd like to find out what the scale is. Like those of you math wizards out there can tell me what 118 by 118 by whatever millimeters becomes if you were to match that to human. All right, we got another plate here. You can tell is the MDX board is the cardboard or whatever, but it's humongous. Look at the size of this thing here. Wow. It's the back windows and stuff. Yeah, okay. And the railings. This is the ladder. The ladder. Very elaborate. Very elaborate kit. Feels a lot different than all the other kits I put together. Look at the thickness. This thing is quite thick. And I love all the decorative, like supposed to be wood and stuff like that is super slick. All the decorations on here. The like gate that sits at the top of that study box. Very pretty, very elaborate. Well worth the price. Glad I spent a little bit more. This is the base of it. Okay. Got some more of these books. Super thick material that this sits on. Very thick. What does it say on here? It says 2.4 by 2.6 millimeter. I don't know what that means. Seems like we're missing something right in here, but maybe that was meant to be like that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so this is G. This is F. This is E. We have GH. This is C. What is this? D. D goes before E. C is, oh, this kind of paper plasticky cutout. C. Then B. And then A. Okay, we'll set these over here. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is the double-sided tape. It's just a crazy little pattern. And I've never seen anything like that before. We'll set that aside with the polishing pad. We're gonna get some liquid. And I guess we'll start this kit. Remember, if you're into this type of content, please consider hitting that like button. Share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family. Comment. You're more than welcome to comment. Talk to me. Keep me entertained while I try to entertain you. As well as subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you're a veteran, you've been coming here and watching. 98.4% of our viewers are not subscribed, and we'd like to get to 4,000 subscribers, hopefully before the end of this year. We're only like 40 subscribers away from 4,000. All right, Rolife, Book Nook, and Wonderland, sorry.
It's my accent, Wade. I come from far away, and sometimes my accent slips out a little bit. But I will try my best to get that American English accent to come out. Wonderland, Book Nook and Wonderland Silent Corner Study. And I like this, how they printed this out, where they have sort of this outline sketch in the background, and then they have the actual completed wooden puzzle right here. Pictures for reference only. Please subject to our existing products. Subject, and then they have a little barcode thingy there. Okay. So polish the edges with sandpaper if there are burrs on pieces or it's hard to insert. Put small parts into the box to prevent loss. Remove the part by pressing its back to reduce burrs. Light test. We did the light test already. Self-prepare 2 AAA batteries before testing. Touch the switch to check if the light works. Very elaborate instructions. Very elaborate instructions. Not just plain Jane kind of things. Like they actually went to town and, you know, with the whole filigree in the center there, the filigree on the corners. This is page 2. So we did this. We did the on-off switch to make sure that the light does come on. We unscrewed and screwed the panel on with the screwdriver that came with the kit. We put our batteries inside. We touched it. We made sure it lit up. So we're good with that page. It looks like we're going to start. Let's see. Whoop. We're actually going to start at the bottom and work our way up. How lovely.
All right, so right out of the gate, it wants us to get the light out. That is not the light. That is the light. So it wants us to get this out. Then for those of you just joining, I will show you. I will turn on the power switch, which is located here, and the touchpad, and the light bulb. Very bright LED light bulb. Very happy that it works. So we're going to keep the battery inside, and we're just going to keep the power switch off. All right, so we have the kit out here, and now this is considered P1. So now we need G4. Okay, so we're going to move some stuff aside. I generally keep paper towels nearby for spills or in case glue gets on the fingers and such. Okay, so this is E. We're going to put E aside for a moment. F. Wow, this thing is super thick. Okay, and G. All right, so G4 is right here, and it shows the touchpad, where the touchpad's going to be. Ooh, that came out pretty intensely there. Okay, so let's set this aside and try to figure this out. What an elaborate looking little floor here. Look at that. That's pretty. Okay, now what is that green square? So if we flip this over, what are you telling me? Okay, so you're telling me to take this stuff and bring it through this square. Let's try to fish it all through here. Okay, and then where does this critter go? Just sit off to the side maybe? Okay, so then if we flip this over, okay, then we get this guy. Oh, he's got two screw holes on him. So you want me to put him or her there. Okay. What does that green square mean? Let's go back to our little instruction thing here. Let's see what that little square means. I have never seen that before. I suppose, oh, here it is. Blank side. Oh, okay, so that green square indicates the blank side of the model kit. So that's not going to help. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. All right, so this is the printed side, the silk screen printed side. This is considered the blank side. Capiche? Okay. So there we go. So that indication right there, that symbol right there refers to that symbol right there. Well, that's a lot of languages. Even Czechoslovakian? Lovely. Okay, so that's the blank side. This is just telling us that this is the blank side. Got it. All right, so the million-dollar question is now, let's move down here. So they want us to align this piece there, and they want us to grab A27. That's B. A27. I see A27 right here. I would have thought you would want me to put screws in there, but no, you want me to put this interesting little thing. This interesting little shape. Okay, so let's align this up here the best that we can. Let's put the A27 into it. Just pushing it down. I don't hear a snap or anything, but okay, I guess that was that. Okay. So that's what it looks like when you're done. I like how they have the cables all perfectly aligned. These are all over the place. Let's see if I can sass them up a little bit there. That's, I guess, the best I can do right there. Okay, so you want me to just put that aside for now? Let's go on to the next page. I like this. I really like this elaborate thing here. Okay. All right, so we got another bag. The other bag that we opened up that had the plastic parts in it, they want me to go to that. Okay, so we have a P2 and a P3. How do you know what? Okay, so this has an arrow on it. These both have arrows on it. So let's put that one aside. So it shows 2 times that this needs to be done. Okay. So that and that. So the Rolfe side, or the Rolife side down. Okay. So you want me to, how does this work? Does this slide inside here? Achtung! There's a big old one of these things right here. Let's see what that says. Special attention to assembly. Achtung! Sorry. Okay. This may be too complicated for the chimpanzee to figure out. Arrow. Arrow is this way, so this, oh, I see. It slides in like that. Okay. So we have to make 2 of these. So we go arrow, arrow facing this way. Okay. All right. These 2 things are created. 2 times. Okay. We need B3 and B16. B3. There are 2 B3s in there. B3 and B16. Oh, that's right, because we're going to be doing it twice. So we'll grab the other B3 as well. All right, so we have one of these with a B3 and a B16, and one of these, the B3, just placing them in from what it tells me, and a B16 here. Okay. Okay, so we'll do this again to this side. Make sure the arrow is facing to the right. So we have our B3. It doesn't suggest that I put glue in here, so we're just not going to do anything until we're told to. And our B16 here now. E9. 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 This is there, E9. It says E9 right there. So there's other parts in here that may fall out. Let's see if we can get them without disconnecting them from their spots. Perfect. Okay, so this faces this way. Okay, so we have one of these with the arrow facing this way, right here. Let's see if we can figure out how to connect. Appears to be lined up. It has a scent to it. It smells like a forest fire. It's so bizarre. Why would it smell like a forest fire? I mean, these kits usually, when they come from China, they have some kind of weird chemical scent, like whenever they use vinyl. Whenever you use vinyl, like vinyl stickers, it has a funky chemical smell, but this... Here, can you smell it? Smells like a forest fire. It's really weird. Okay, so arrow facing this way, okay. So again, we're gonna place this here. We are going to try to connect B3. Wants to go over here. I'm not sure if I'm seating it correctly. I don't hear a snap or... I mean, that time I did. That one's squished nicely in there. Not as much. Okay. Very interesting, whatever these are. Whatever this is going to be. All right, so we need an F4. That is an E. That is a G. This must be an F. This is an F. We need an F4. Let us look for an F4. I have found an F4, but it is straight. Okay, so F4. Try to be as gentle as I can. It smells like a forest fire. Unless there's a forest fire outside that's coming through the window. That's possible. All right, so this wants me to flex this. Ooh, look how cool that is. Flex. Flex. All right, so they got to go into here, 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 and here. So we'll start with this side here. That's the sound I want to hear. Okay. I'm building a railroad track. Oh, for the Lord. Go into your spot. That one needed no introduction. There we go. Cool. We have built something. Okay, we have completed page 4. That is our gizmo. Put that aside. Must get some lemonade. Okay. B17 is needed. B17, which is yellow. Here is a B17. And B17 is needed right here. Okay, maybe not. So if it doesn't fit, rotate it around. B17 has been placed. Now, this thing that we built, the floor, okay, with all the wires, wait a second here. And I don't understand, now you want me to pull all the wires out? Oh, just the light bulb. The light bulb must be sent back, and the battery box. So the light bulb will come back. Okay. So the light bulb and battery box, this is the light bulb. This is the battery box. There we go. It actually shows I don't know if you can see this, but you see that the letters and stuff right there, and the shape of that is actually on this right here to tell you what direction it needs to go. Okay, so this stuff is sitting here. This guy is sitting here. So now we need to connect floors. So we need to connect that open spot to that there and all the way around. Something is stopping me from doing that. It is this slot right here. Okay, so there we go. Let's put that through that slot. Prevention. Come on. There you go. That's the sound I want to hear. Why are we stopped? Oh, the touchpad. The touchpad. Why doesn't the touchpad want to go down? Why doesn't that piece want to go down there? I think I may have to do some filing. This guy right here, this peg, doesn't seem to want to go into its slot. Let's take a little bit of the burring off of it. Even though this feels like wood. Okay, this is going to have to come off so we can take some of this burring off. I'm going to test fit it first before I put it all back together. Ooh. There we go. Okay, so it'll fit back in there now. So now we'll put it back together. Okay, flip it back over. Has to go through this critter right there. Okay, so now, there we go, there we go, there we go. Not the best fitment in the world, but okay. So got everybody out here. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we've now made the floor. For those of you joining, thank you for tuning into Real Talk Champ, building this new kit here. Silent Corner Study. I know you've heard me talk. That was a ghost in the background. They're rotten. There's the touchpad right there. Seriously? Hang on a second. I gotta go fight with a ghost. You're all coming with me this time. Why do you insist on throwing my paintings? What is the deal, bro? Seriously, stop giving me chills. It's really screwed up. You don't like these two? Why is it? Why you don't throw the other ones? Why do you always throw these down? What do you dislike about these? They're beautiful. They're beautiful paintings, bro. Chill out. Go somewhere else. Or come and hang out and watch me build this model kit. You probably scared Sammy. I don't see Sammy anymore. You scared him into another room. Freaking poltergeist. Achtung! Oh, I don't know any other German. There you go. All right. Back to building our plastic model kit. We got to let our goosebumps kind of chill out for a minute here. All right, so we connected that, so now you want us to put another one of these bendy walls. Okay, so let's turn this off. First of all, I like turning that on and off. All right, let's turn the power switch off. Sorry for scaring you viewers away. I live in a haunted house. It's just how it is. You know, you rent one of these old houses. And that was my tablet telling me that it needs to be updated. Well, you will get nothing in like it. You rent a room out of one of these old houses, and sometimes you get ghosts that come with. F6. F6. Here's F6 right here. I mean, ever since I put the Blooming Desert painting that I made, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, over there, he keeps throwing it across the room, she, he, whatever. I can't figure out why. Doesn't touch any of the other ones, just that particular frame. Now, it must be something with the frame. I don't think it's the picture. Maybe it's the frame itself. I don't know. And now the new one, now he's throwing the new one around. Like, I know he's trying to get my attention. You got my attention, bro. But yeah. Anyway, all right, so we got to connect F6 to this floor. So we'll start over here and just push. Okay, that's weird. So it must be this way? It's got to be this way. No, there's that one there. Why? Oh, I was putting in the wrong one? Yeah, I was putting it in the wrong one. Okay. Okay, so there's this one here, and then this one here. Okay, I thought it needed this one over here. Okay, so here we go. So we're now set right there, according to this instructions here. So this is the completed, but they want a B14. We will get them a B14. And where do you want the B14? You want me to secure the wires down here? Okay. So you want me to secure all the wires down here with the B14. Let's turn it around, try it that way. Ooh. There we go. Okay, all the wires are secured there, according to this. Okay. Now that was page 5. We're going to move on to page 6. They say this kit takes 4 to 7 hours to complete. But generally we do this in 1 to 2 parts. I mean, I'm going to try to do a 4-hour live stream. We're less than an hour in. Okay, so, all right, G1 wants to be placed on these 3 pegs here. So let's look for G1, E, F, G. G1 is this other floor here. Okay, so this floor, according to the diagram, wants us to place it on here. Okay, so start from here. That's a lovely sound. Where does this go? Okay, Okay, don't break. Please don't break. Okay, everybody, all the wires are hanging out. Super pretty so far. Very lovely. Okay. So now we got an Achtung right here. And our Achtung again is special attention in assembly. All right, that's okay. So what port is that? That is an F27. That is an F27. Let us look for an F20. This is an F27 right here. Okay. So you have a special way you want me to do this. Right here. And then turn this around to here. Ooh, that was a weird sound. Okay. So it wanted us to take this thing and curve it, as you can see, connect it to that slot there, 2 slots there, 3 slots, but in order to get to the 3rd slot, we had to curve the thing, which we did right here. Okay, lovely. Put that aside there. All right, so now we need 2 A19s to fit into these 2 slots over here. So 2 A19s. A19. Oh, here we go. Look at the wood laminate that they put on top of this cardboard here is super cool. So 2 A19s. Okay, and they want us to put these monkeys, one here, squish, one here. Okay, 2 A19s placed in its spot. Thank you for joining at Real Talk Champ, hanging out with us while I build this 3D wooden puzzle for you. I hope you hit that like button if you like the type of content. That'd be greatly appreciated. If not, don't worry about it. It's all good. Just hang out and watch. You're more than welcome to type on the live chat if you want to communicate with me, because I love communicating with you. We're looking for an F22 that'll connect onto that open slot. So an F22. Here is an F22. Okay. So F22. Nothing special about it. That is the blank side. That is the painted side. So we're going to just put you right here according to that. Okay, so now it kind of squares off this shape, which if we're looking at the box, we're building this base right here that would appear, the space that curves around. Can't really see it on here, but that's how it is if you have it on a bookshelf. Okay. Okay, and next we need a G2. A G. Uh-oh, don't break that. No, it already broke. Okay, no, I didn't break it, fell apart. A G2, here is a G2. The base of the bookshelf. Okay, so we have this shape, we have the blank side here, and it's got a wood laminate. See, look at that. Look how realistic that looks. That's really pretty. Really pretty how that works. All right, so now we've got this slot here. We have this slot here. And we have this slot here and this one back here. And they're going to go onto this peg, and this peg. So we're going to carefully do this. And if it does not fit, you may have to file it down. This one's not liking its spot. Okay, we got that. Look how, let's see if you can, if I can get this to focus. Let me see if I can get some light in here for you. All right, let's see if I can get an angle on this so you can see that there's drawers painted on this thing. Sorry, get the finger out of there because it doesn't like the finger. So yeah, you can see like there's drawers painted on there. That's super cool. Okay. Suppose I can keep that light on there. Let me know if that light bothers you. All right, so we did all those pieces there. We did that, we did that. Now we have to put a G12. A G12. A kitty. Wow. I didn't know there was a kitty in this puzzle. There's always got to be a kitty in a bookshelf. Kitties always love sitting on bookshelves. All right, we got two pegs. Two pegs here. And then we have the two slots right here. So we're just going to press this in. There you go. You heard that little click sound. And then we got a kitty playing in a bookshelf. Okay. So now we're done with page 6. We can move on. Get a sip of our lemonade. Okay. So what does this say here? All right, we need to take an A14. There's an A14. An E14. An E14, which is here. And an H32, which looks like our stickers. An H32, which is right here, like pine tree or something, okay? And stick it to said E14. So let's try to get this sticker off here. Okay, we have a sticker, an E14. Okay, how about this side? There we go, that side fits. All right, sticker. We have made our own little picture. All right, that goes up on our bookshelf here. You got a peg right here. Goes into the slot right there. All right, that just squished right in there, perfect. Okay. And now we need a C14. We need a C14. A C14 over here is a C. Here is the C14 right here. So this is, it looks like it would be stickers, but it's actually like a thick paper. So C14, and C14 goes into, okay, so C14 has these little pegs, but they're paper like, and they're going to go into these little slit areas here, which is going to require me to curve this piece. Okay, there we go. I guess to give the illusion that there's books back there. As you remember, this is a 3D wooden puzzle, so it's meant to give you that three-dimensional look to it. All right, so that was this one here. So now we're going to set this aside for the moment as we go over here to step 3. So we're going to be required to get D6. D6. That's D, G, that's not over there. Let's look over here. This is D. This is a really elaborate, it's really thick. It's got a really cool laminate on it. It's double-sided, but it's got decorations and it's super slick. All right, so we need D6. D6. If I had, I'd say D6 pointing to this monstrosity right here. If I had my guess, I'd say this is the back of the entire kit. All right, so D6 rotated this way. Oh, not this way, but rotated this way is going to require an E18. An E18. Here is an E18. And an H25. An H25, which is like a Stairway to Heaven book. That's what it looks like. It looks like a, or not, it's like a Pathway to a Castle. Okay. I guess that's the best way you can see that. Okay, so we're going to wrap around this here, but not over the pegs. Okay. There we go. We got another book. And this goes into these slots right here. These pegs. Like so, like you do. Okay, so that was step D6 here. Okay, now you want me to do another one right next to it. At an angle. So in other bookshelves that I've made in the past, you had to set a book, just glue parts of the corner so that it sits against the wall at an angle. We're actually putting a book and it's connecting to a thing that's going to make it look like it's sitting at an angle. So we're going to look for A12. Here is A12, but there's two A12s and they look different. So which A12? I'm going to choose the first one here. So I don't see the two notches taken out like you do on this one. So I don't understand that, okay? And then an H27. Here is an H27. Something with love. What does that? Bloom with love? Possibly. To get it to focus, I gotta turn the flash off. Oh, where did the green screen come from? I don't want that. What? Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. I clicked on green screen by accident. I apologize for that. Remember, I am a chimpanzee. Chimpanzee is only 99.8% human-brained. The rest is gopher or squirrel. Not quite sure. Okay. So you see the slots there, the pegs here. And now we have a slanted book. And I can see that in here, the slanted book right there. Crazy. Okay. So that was this section here. And now we have another one section here. We need an F25. It does not appear that it requires a book. We need an F25. The piece has fallen off. We'll put that back in the box. An F25. I have an F25 right here. Okay, where does F25 need to go? So we got to turn it around. So when I took it out of the thing, I was holding it like this, and I went like this, and said that's wrong. So that's the correct way. Got the two slots here, a larger slot and a smaller slot, and they go right here, and the larger and the smaller. Those are the sounds you'd like to hear. Okay. Perfecto. We have completed this one here. Now we flip over the page, and now we need a D2. A D2. That is a D. Okay, so here is a D2. Thumb is stuck. Hey, right, mate. Flip this over, and D2 goes up here and here. You didn't see that. It goes here and here. And if you see that it is a larger slot than this one, therefore that one and that one must fit that way. And I would be wrong. It's here. It's nowhere. It doesn't exist on here. You want me to put this where? But sir, that means I got to flip it over. Okay, so it's here. I lied. It's here and here. And I liked that sound. So the side of a bookshelf, it appears. Okay. So then it's basically showing you the completed. So that is what we did here. That is it completed. All right, mate. Now we need an F18. F18. F18 is what, a Navy fighter? I think so. There is an F18. All right, with our F18, we need a G9 and a C13. A G9 and a C13. A G9. I see a G9 right here. And a C13. A G9 and a C13. We'll replace the G9 into these, minus the cat hair. These two slots will get the G9. Squish. They have a book in here called Rolife. That's the same as their kit. Look at that advertising. Green Fairy Tales. Tides of something. I don't know. All right, a C13 is one of these paper ones. Okay. Why they go all over the place, I have no idea. There's a C13. This goes into the paper slotty so that you can curve it. Paper slotties. Okay. So that is that kit up there. So now over here, they want us to make some books, and they got a bunch of Achtungs in here. So we need an E16. We need an E16. There is an E16 right there. Okay, an E16 and an H35 stickers. An H35, which is this one here. The what? The Great Encyclopedias? No, the Great, I don't know. If you can read that, Sammy will give you a kiss. Okay. Try to get this sticker off here. There we go. Okay, let's try to get this. All right, so this tab, the Achtung that's right here is telling me that I gotta change the direction of this to face downward. And the cool thing is there's a sassy little arrow on there telling me what direction this needs to be in. Okay, so we put the book page here. Do our best to try to square it off. Okay. Well, that kind of went a little cattywampus. Let me try to pull that back. The word of the day is cattywampus. Okay. All right. So this one here goes where? And this one here goes to the back. That back slot right there. Okay. We have to make another one. We need a B21. A B, and we got a bunch of B21s, so we'll take one of these B21s. And we'll take an H34, which is this guy right here. The Book of Flowers. I always feel like I'm being punked when I can't do one of these. You ever go into the grocery store and you try to get a plastic bag because you're trying to, like put it with like greenery or trying to put fruits or vegetables in or whatever, and you can't open that little plastic bag and you're fighting with it and you're figuring you have to be getting punked. Somebody is going to jump out and say, you're getting punked. Ant Dog Games 213 says, I always have a hard time putting decals by hand. Tweezers usually work for me, always. Yes, and I do have Tweezy McTweezer tins right here. So we can certainly try that. Tweezy McTweezer tins. Okay, so this needs to go. Let's try this here. Try to get it in frame here so you can see what I'm trying to do. Sad thing is my hands still shake. Yay! We have made another book. So we will take our book and put it into that slot. Our Bookie McBooker tins here with our big giant gorilla chimpanzee hands. There we go. Slowly but surely building this sassy little shelf here. Thank you for the like, I appreciate it. All right, so we have 2 more slots left. So we are looking for a B1. We have found a B1. Judging by the little squares, we are going to be making a whole lot of books. A whole lot of books. All right, we've got a B1. Also, make sure that the tab is facing downward. Okay, so we'll B1. We need an H33. We have found an H33. Although that one does not look like a book. That looks like an image, a painting. Oh, my Lord. He's getting punked again. Oh, this time it doesn't want the tweezers. That's when I think it's the ghost. The ghost is laughing at me and he's pushing the stickers down onto the paper. So, okay. Did you build one of these kits there, Ant Dog? Ant Dog Games 213. Did you build like one of these Rolife kits? This right here, although this is my first Rolife kit, this makes it, I think, 12 kit 3D kits that I've made so far. 3D kits. I've been sticking mainly with the Japanese ones, but yeah. Now I decided I wanted to do something like the painting I did, the cozy reading nook painting that I made. Oh, all right, that one's definitely going to require tweezers. The ghost is laughing at me now, right now, just going, dude, you do not know how to put stickers on things. Like, bro, 50 years ago I could put stickers on things. You're right, my eyes don't work as much, my hands are shaking. It's a lot different now. Hey, why don't you come over here and do this as you're laughing at me, you douchebag? Sorry. Okay. Can't use the tweezers. Need to use the touchy-feely. Okay. That goes on. What is D3? Why is D3 come out of here? Where is D3? There's a D3 right here. And once a D3 in here before I put the picture in here. Oh, it's a separator wall, it looks like. So, a little separator wall here. And now we can put the photo or the painting in here. There we go. All right. That was quite a journey that we did here. And that is your completed thing. Although that shows the book leaning over. Oh, I'm supposed to lean the book over according to this image right here. All right, how do I do that? Without breaking it. Oh, I guess I just lean it over on its side. Okay. So that's what we made here. A sassy little shelf with some paintings. All right, cool. We will place that aside. That was page 8. We're moving on to page 9. Okay, and it wants us to put that bookshelf that we created onto the wall that we've been working on. So we're looking at that slot and these two, because you can't see that, my bad. That slot and these two gaps right here. So we'll take said bookshelf and we will try to align everything in its place. Yay, we heard it all snap. Perfect. And we have created that. So we did this. And that's what it looks like when it's finished. Blammo. We got a wall. Trying to figure out how to turn the flash off. Got it. Got it, coach. All right. Never a model like this, but I have done cars and planes. Yes. So a couple of months ago, I used to have a 94 GMC Sonoma pickup truck in a radar purple. I bought it fresh off the GMC lot in 1994 on my birthday, and had that for about 15 years, and then it got stolen. But I found a model kit of it. Now, if you recall, in the last maybe 25 years, model kits, trains, most hobbies have become priceless because people play video games. So, plastic models, wood models, all these types of things, it's a lost and dying art because people would rather spend their time playing video games, right? Same thing with books, Books have gone bye-bye. People read books on, either books on tape they listen to, or they read books on their Kindle. So I'm trying to bring this dying art back of building these kits. And there's other YouTubers on there that obviously are doing the same, and I think it's great. But I don't know why I got sidetracked. Oh, you were talking about planes and models. So I finally built for the first time a truck based off of close to based off. It was a single cab. Mine was a double cab, but with a short bed. This is a single cab with a long bed. And when I used to build plastic models, and I used to fully custom them out. Like when I first started as a child, they're just built out of the box, like snap tight kits or just glue kits, just how it is out of the box. But as I got older, into my later teens, I started adding the fuel lines and the distributor lines and all the bells and whistles. And back then it was before YouTube and all that. You couldn't really watch videos, so I'd go to like the clubhouses and stuff, where they had clubs, hobby clubs and stuff. I don't even know if they still have hobby clubs. For the love of all that is holy. All right, so we're now on page 6. We're going to start on a new shelf. So F12. That is E. That's not going to help us. F12. F12. If you were F12, where would you be? I see where you should be. It's F16. Do they not give me an F12? How strange would that be? F34. Am I reading this wrong? No. F12. Oh, right in front of my nose. Doing. Reading it like a stooge. Yeah. Holy monkey. All right, so we'll set our F12 down. We need an H26 onto a B21. A B21. All right, another B21 shape. We have multi them. A B21 here. And an H26. Here is an H26 right here. What does that say? You know what? I left it in the other room. I have a magnifying glass that I use on my paint by numbers. Of course, I left it in the other room. I didn't think I was going to be reading little tiny book titles. I absolutely cannot read that one. That is very tiny. Okay, B21, we're going to face that down. I think we're becoming pros with this now. Nope, I take that back. We're becoming novices right now. Amateurs. I mean me. Okay. All right, the first one goes in the first slot. So we will press that down. Okay, we'll put that one aside there. We need an A17. An A17. Here's an A17. We need an E12. E12. Little square right here. An E12. And we need an H38. I don't know why they keep taking these squares from the different spots. I mean, we have squares on the B's, the A's, I don't know. They want to make it challenging for us. All right, we need an H38. Oh, okay, so this is another picture. Another picture, not a book. Once again, Real Talk Chimp is getting punked. Ghost is laughing at me. Okay. So first thing we do is put the critter on here. So we stuck that onto here, and now we're going to stick this painting. Oh, this is three-dimensional. It's just a sticker. See if I can get this thing to focus. But it's got a picture frame around it, and the way it's highlight and shadowed gives it a real three-dimensional look. That's pretty slick. But I think it's facing the wrong way. Yes, it is facing the wrong way. Okay. Nope, can't use the tweezers. Brain is broken. So let's see if I can just angle it just right so that it looks three-dimensional. See how that works on there? That's pretty slick, right? Okay. So this critter goes... We need to put him aside for the moment because something else. It wants me to make something else here. So it wants me to take an A22. A22. And it wants me to take an H28. Which is right here. Oh, what? It has little slots taken out of it. Okay, what do you want me to do with this? You want me to take this. Okay, it's got an arrow facing upwards. Okay, so you want me to put this with the slots facing this direction. Wrap that around. Okay. Oh, you want this thing like the pictures. Why would the picture be right through a book? That seems odd. I'm trying to put this right through a book. Look at that. Got to be the Incredible Hulk to be able to do that. And then you want me to put that right here. Okay, so I guess it's giving the illusion that the painting is sitting on top of the book, even though it's right through it. It's kind of odd. Okay. Cool. All right, so now we're going over to G6. You sank my battleship. Where's G? G's over here somewhere. Here's G6. Okay. Here's G6. And it's one of these critters. Okay, blank side. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Can you read that? I cannot. All right, so G6 is over here. Wants us to place this down with these slots here. That's the squishy sound I like to hear. All right, so that whole row has been completed. We did that. Connected it onto there. We made that, meaning I connected it onto there. Then we did that. And then we did that. And we come out with this so far. All right, we're not done with that shelf. We still have 3 more slots to do. So we're looking for B21. B21. Another little square book thing. And we're looking for H29. These stickers feel like they have a powder on them. Hope it's not anthrax. Okay, 29 is this. Now granted, I'm pretty sure that they photocopied all these things and shrunk them down. So these are probably actual books. You could probably use your phone and try to scan them and see what they actually are. I don't see why not. It's got writing on it. The story of the Bible. The Bible. Story of the Bible. Wouldn't that be the Bible? The story of the Bible? I don't know. Okay, so let's place this one onto said spot. Okay, wrap it around. Cool. Where does this one go? This one goes on this one right here. Keep forgetting that I'm wearing this gimbal around my neck. Thank you for the like. And I keep forgetting that it's out of frame. There is a way to change the orientation to horizontal. I tried that with one of my painting videos. I'm not very bright when it comes to sassy technical things. So, all right, we put that book there. So now we are looking for another one of these things. All right, so we're looking for an F17. That's G. That's E. That's F. F17 is very similar to that A. Oh, didn't want to take all those. Oh, son of a monkey. Parts are falling off. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's just take that. Okay. All right, all the pieces that fell off go into the box. Okay, that was the F. Then we're looking for, oh, we need another one. An F13 right here. There's an F13. Okay. So F13 and an H24. So first of all, let's connect this critter onto here. That's the squishy sound we like. Okay. And then let's put an H24 on here. Here is an H24 with some slots taken out of it. A slot taken out of it. Kind of hard. Sorry for the thing being out of focus. Okay, so now it faces downward. So it faces this way. Is that correct? Okay. I see it wraps around the little holder here. It's kind of weird. Don't really want to do it, but okay. And where does this one go? This one goes and faces this direction. Why would you want it to face that direction? That's weird. Okay. So I'm going to put this down for a moment. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. Since I have no ability to pause said stream, if the ghost moves this, you let me know. I will be back in a moment. Okay, I will be back. I will be back. I will be back. I also brought the magnifying glass with so we can look at some of these things. I don't know if that does any better. Oh, the Arabian Nights, looks like. I don't know. Okay, well, I brought it, at least brought it with, so here we go. Okay, so where were we? We did that one there, so now we need F7 times 3. F7 times 3. Here's F7 times 3. That F8's about to drop. Okay, let's figure this one out. So we have F7, F7, F7. Oh, we do need the F8. Weird. And we need F43. There's F43 right here. Okay, so we're going to stack these books or these little blocks up. And we have an F8. Put this into this. And then stack these through here. Let's try them one at a time. How's that? There's 1, 2, 3. And then we're looking for H23. H23, it's 3 books. Right out of the gate, we've got the Scarlet Letter. Can't read what the 2 other ones are. It's all about the literature. Okay, so this one's going to be stacked like so. So we stuck it to the bottom and then rotated it up, and then the slot in between fits that peg. Okay. All right. So then we rotate it this way, and it goes into the last one right here. It goes into the last hole right here. Nice squish like that. So that back area gets blocked. You can't see that in there. So we basically did all of this. This is what we just completed. There is the completed shelf. Okay, now we'll flip the page to page 11. Now we will connect the shelf that we just completed onto the wall. Here is the wall. Hey, Michael, how you doing tonight? We got our moderator in here, Michael Contreras Knight. That's Michael 070 Knight, who I play video games with. This is what we're building right here. So this is basically based off of that cozy reading nook that I painted. Ashton, how you doing there, pal? We're back to building another model. I'm staggering these. I'm going to build a model kit, then paint the photo. Because remember, painting the paint by numbers usually takes me around 5 different days to do it. So there's usually 5 parts. This may be 2 parts, or we may be able to complete it all in one shot. But most likely this will take 2 parts as we're coming into the second hour. All right, so we built this wall with a couple of books and such. Now we're going to add the next shelf to it. So we are looking at, wait a second here. Why are you showing 3 shelves here? We haven't made it 3 shelves. Whoa. We skipped a page. We skipped a whole page. I didn't even see this page. Sorry. We need to go back. We need to go back, folks. I didn't even see this page here. That's crazy. Crazy. Crazy little chimpanzee. Crazy. So we need an F16. We need an F16. Uh-oh. Did we build all of this stuff on an F16? Or no, the F16 fell down. We had parts that fell out. Oh no, how will we know? Let's take a look here. No, that has, that's got an angle on it, see? There's our F16. Okay, here's our F16. How did we skip this page over? We put this one on here. That was that. And we completely just flipped the page over. We didn't even, you're supposed to stop me and correct me, sir. Okay, so we're looking for a C-12. We have our F-16 fighter jet. We need a G-8, which is going to be here. Oh, that's C. We need a C-12, which is right here. Something is toxic in here. It's killing my soul. All right, we need a G8. Here is a G8. Okay. So the G8's the first one to go down. Squish. And the C12 goes into these little slots here. Like you do. Okay, and then we need a G13, which looks like a globe. Oops. A globe on a stand. I like how the ring is cut out so you can see the ring around the Earth. That's pretty slick. All right, that guy goes into these 2 slots here, like so. And then we need a C10. Here is a C10. In the last spot, then that's that. So then, we already did that. So we did this. And this. And that was the completed one. So now we attach that to said wall. Okay. Right? That's right. You sank my battleship. That's what happens when you start calling all those bingo numbers out. All right, so that peg right there is going to go into that slot along with that slot there. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we can skip ahead over to here. We did all that. Now we can go over here. Okay, so step 7 requires us to take the shelf that we made. And we have a slot right here and a slot right there. We have a peg. Focus! And a slot, a peg and a slot. Okay. And the books that we created on the wall now sit on that shelf. This one does not want to go. Okay. Why do you not want to fit in there? Are you too good for your home? Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to do some filing, folks. So we cannot get this part to go into its spot. Let's try it now. There we go. Heard a little squish. Okay. Not sure why it's sitting at an angle like that, but weird. Okay. Looks lovely. Right, mate, right. Looks like we're making the last shelf. So let's grab the part that fell into the box. Let's see if this is the correct one. It does not appear to be. Let's take a look, see what's going on here. This does not make sense. There's no way that would. No. This has to be this one here. This is this one here. Oh, we may have screwed up, folks. We may have screwed up. Okay, so that one goes there. So F26. No, that's the one we put it. Where the heck is F26? I found it. Who's in the box? Okay. Scaring me, Mike. I'm getting scared here. Dude, you're right. Homey figures. Now, what scale are homey figures? Those are little itty bitty, right? Homey figure would probably be too small. Man, what had happened to my homey figures? I used to have a whole set of those things, bro. You know what? When I used to have my storage and I had all my action figures and stuff like that, and I had to leave the storage, I lost everything. Everything. I'll never be able to build those sets again. But my homies, oh, yeah, son of a mother, father, sister, and brother. All right, we need a B1. B1 is right here. The B1. We need an H22. Do we have audio? You guys can hear me, right?
Do we have audio?
We do have audio.
You guys can hear me, right?
We do have audio. Okay, good. So what did I say? We need an H22. Here's an H22. You know what H22 is? H22 is one of the Rolife 3D Book Nooks. Oh, that's cool. God, I'm getting punked again. Mike, the ghost was here again. The ghost knocked over my paintings again earlier. Got video proof. All right, so we got to put this. I haven't built one of these box Book Nooks yet, where it's like a vertical box and then everything is set inside the box. I haven't built one of those because I've just been building the little houses, but I plan on buying one. They're a little bit more pricey than a little house. I don't know why. It's a 3D Book Nook. All right, so this one goes on the first slot. Right there. And we need a C3 PO. We need a C3. Here's a C3. So the C3 goes into the little slots right here. No, they don't. Wow. Put that down in with force. That one does not want to go into its spot. We have to send Sammy after this one. What is hindering this one? I don't know why. I cannot understand it. Well, that's the best we can do. Doesn't want to go, it doesn't want to go. All right, we need a F11, F11. F11, F11. F11, here's F11s. How many do we need? We need 2 F11s and an F10. And we need an F42, which is right here. Okay. All right, it's one of these stacks again. So we have the F11, F11. Okay, so we take the side here. Okay, And we stack these guys on top. Okay. That one needs to get flipped around. Yep, that feels better. Right, mate. And then we need an H21. Here is an H21 right here. It's a book about cats. It says cats on there. At least the top book's cats. I don't know what the other one is. Little slot taken out. Okay. All right, so we have to go from the top down. So we go here. There we go. I forgot you can't see. We go from the top. We wrap around all the way down. And now we have two books stacked on top of each other. And we put that one here, according to this. Squish. That's the sound we like. Now we need a C11. There is a C11. And we put C11, I got to curve it to go into these slots right here. So the first one, and then curve and place. So got a whole lot of books right there. Okay, and that's basically showing it right there. Okay, now we can flip the page. And now it's telling us to set this in here into the top slot and the slot right into the side of the bookshelf. Okay. One in first. Ooh, that did not sound good. It does not want to go into its spot like the other one. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Now we got 4 shelves on said wall. Very sassy. Very sassy. All right, so what we did was this right here. And that was the completed wall. So now we're going into uncharted territory here. We get to connect the wall onto the floor that we made. We got to do some rotating here according to this. So the wires and stuff are going to hang off to the side here according to said thing. We're going to take a bookshelf and we're going to connect this, and nothing else. And we're going to connect this. Yep. Try is the key word. Oh, that did not want to go. Oh boy. I think I need an adult for this one. This is the best part when you can't make anything work. This is the frustrating parts of these kits, how you find out how wonky they are. No matter what you do, they will not go. All right, we got to file down all these pegs. So the fitment is terrible. Try the right way. Go into your home. Don't make me use my teeth. Oh. I think we got it. Got it. Whew. Namaste. Namaste. That was brutal. That's what we have just done. Without throwing it against the wall and smashing it into pieces. We have made it. All right, what are you telling us to do? We need a C1. We need a C1. Here is a C1. A paper thing. Okay, where does C1 want us to take it? All right, so there's been a slit in each one of these little things, and you want us to put this thing in here like that. Is that correct? What? Oh, it has to go all the way inside here somehow. Because there is a right way and a wrong way. It has to go all the way inside. I can't tell. I think it's all the way around. You tell me. I think. Now we need a B9 and two B20s. A B9 and two B20s. Go over here. A B9. This is a B9. And two B20s. Okay, these have certain orientation to them. If you notice, the little blue tab refers to this tab right here. Okay. So now we take the B. Wait, what? Oh, I see. Okay, so this one goes here. Very reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines thumping. I don't know the rest of it. We'll just leave it there. Okay, so now we have completed this thing. But now it wants us to put a B11 attached to it. Here is a B11. Oh, it's part of a desk. We are building a desk because you see the desk drawers. Cool. So we are going to connect it to this piece here and then to this piece here. Now this kit says that it doesn't require glue, and I haven't had to use any glue yet. So that's pretty good. Like I said, this kit cost me more than the other kits in the past because I wanted to try something that was better quality. So far, this is better quality. So here's what we did. We completed that and that. And now we're going to switch to page 13. Okay. Oh, come on, tomo, arigato. Okay. So now we need a B6. Here's a B6. Requires us to spin that around, okay. So you want me to put the B6 on top of this. The first time I ever saw one of these types of kits pop up into my YouTube like news feed, it was a guy shooting a Tommy gun, an all wooden Tommy gun with rubber bands. He was shooting rubber bands out of it. And I've seen things in the past. I remember my grandpa used to build, he built me a rubber band gun, you know, like you could have those little rubber band guns and stuff. And that was the first time I've ever seen these things. I didn't know they were called Book Nooks, or I just always thought that they were called little model kits. But now they've advanced to being called 3D wooden puzzle, which I have no idea why. And Book Nook, because you can put them up on a shelf. So I guess that's cute. All right, so in front of the B20, it looks like it wants me to put a B10. So B10, which is here. And it's showing some type of orientation. Oh, because this one has a bigger slot on this side and a smaller slot on that side, as you can see in the diagram here. It wants me to put this, oh, that wouldn't even work at all. That doesn't make any sense. If it was facing this way, oh, it goes down at the bottom. Doi. Can't take this chimpanzee anywhere. So the reason why this sticks out farther is it's probably going to connect onto a wall. So it's going to take that extended peg there. Okay. And then I need to put a B19. Which is here. A very decorative little piece here. Check this out. It's got some filigree on the bottom of it. That's super cute. I like that filigree. Okay, so this one with the tabs upward. It's going to go like like so. I mean, it's just like you're building a dollhouse for a child, basically what you're doing here. Very cute. Okay, so that's that. Then you need a B18 for the back end here. B18. B18, which is this piece here. Also has decorations on it. Okay, the B18 goes. So the same thing with this, it has orientation as well. The smaller tab on the left, the two larger tabs on the right. That's the squishy sound. It's the opposite of the click sound. Okay, so basically we completed this here. Rotated that piece. We followed these tabs. We rotated it to put this back piece on, and that's what we made. Cute little desk. It's got some texture to it as well. This one smells like a forest fire as well. All right, we got something here. What do we got here? What on earth is that? What on earth a kit is this? Oh, this was this thing here. This is called M. This thing that they gave us, these little white things. So you want me to split this up somehow. Okay, so this side is M. That would be M. You know, we can make life a little easier here. Okay, let's try this out here. So that would be M. This would be S, and there's a line through it here. And then this up here is L. Okay. We sort of see it shine through. It is incorrect on the placement, but yes. Okay, so S. You want me to lift up the first S and do what with it? You want me to put an S on the side of this 3 times. You want an S across here. I guess you can't see that. You want an S along vertically here, 2 S's vertically, and an S across that middle part. Okay, let's try it. Okay. It's perforated, so you can pick pieces up, you'd think. Apparently it doesn't work with that. Okay. What I don't understand it. Oh, it's a double-sided tape. How on earth am I going to pull? There's one. To figure this out, this is probably going to take the X-Acto blade because it's so freaking tiny. Kind of close. Now you want me to lift up an edge here to see. Oh boy. I can't even imagine for the life of me how this is going to be done. This may take us a couple of hours, folks. This is supposed to be double-sided tape. I actually have a corner lifted up. Oh, I got it. Now I got to do it 3 more times or 1,000 more times. I don't know how many more we have to do. I swear to God, I feel like I'm doing surgery here. Scalpel. I need a test monkey to help me. I need an adult. I need an adult. Actually have another side possibly pulled up here. Oh my God. How is that one clear, but the other one not? Nope. Seriously, I'll just use the glue, please. This is ridiculous. Yeah, fuck it. Oh! I'm just going to use glue. I'm not going to waste my time trying to peel off itty bitty teeny tiny things. B13. B13. There's 2 B13s. No, that's a B4. This is a B13. Okay. Okay, so you want me to do what now? You want me to connect that with the tape? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of the tape. A, it looks stupid. And B, it looks stupid. I will use glue. I'm going to be a rebel. We're gonna use some glue, doopa doopa doopoo, doo 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 doo. We're gonna use the glue. Could poke a hole in there. Come squirting out. Don't come squirting out, sir. I can't wait to see the thing that does the thing, that does the thingy thing of thingy stuff thing. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated room when you're doing gluing. You're gluing doing. You're doing gluing. Yes, I'd rather do that than stick all that crazy tape on there. Oh, that is some toxic glue. Whew. Get on there, sir. Holy mother of monkey jello. That glue, it smells like the original Testors liquid cement. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Whew. Whew. That's some stinky stuff. All right. So we tried to do all of this crap. Ended up just throwing away the tape and then using the glue. Now it wants me to put this desk onto this wall here. So G11. Does anyone have bingo number G11? Here's G11 right here, I think. Looks like the same shape. Yep, here's G11. G11. Bingo! There's G11. I'm sorry, I scared the neighbor away. Elevator has guide rail 3666. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. And you know what there? Look real close here. There's a kitty cat right there. Okay. We have got a giant wall here. We are going to put a desk against giant wall using, oh, wait a second here. Let's put our dingus back on here. Because we glued the piece down, so our dingus wants to fall off. Let's get it to face the correct way. Put the dingus in the dingus spot. Okay. We're going to connect that peg and that peg and that peg and that peg all to all the slots on said wall. We're going to try is the keyword. And the little thing fell off. Of course it did. Okay, we've got the desk on there. Let's try to glue this guy back on here. Okay. So we followed these steps here. We tried following that step and we threw that in the garbage. We tried that, but we said nope. Then we connected desk to wall, and that is our completion. You want me to put another piece of tape there with a B15? All right, we got to find a B15 here. There is a B15, and they want me to use the double-sided tape for the B15, but we're going to be sassy and use our glue. We're going to use the less stinky glue. We used a little too much glue, so we're going to wipe it off. Basically made a little drawer. He wanted us to use the double-sided tape, but that's the size of the double-sided tape. Unfortunately, I don't have fingers that small. All right, we have completed that step. We shall move on. We're now going to 14. We're putting the other side that we did on that one over to the other side. So that is B4. B4. Does anybody have B4? These are our bingo balls. There's before you slip into unconsciousness. I'd like to have a monkey butt. All right, so we're connecting. Instead of gluing, it just wants us to connect it straight to the wall. It does not want to go straight to the wall. Don't break it, don't break it, don't break it. You break it, you buy it. Oh! We broke it. Oh, we broke all of it. Why? It is shattering in my hand. Oh, that is just rotten. Rotten, I tell you. Can we put any of it together? This stuff is super delicate. Okay. Oh! Well, we're going to try to glue this stuff back together here if we can. Remember, I've got big, giant banana gorilla hands, so things like this just kind of happen to me. The good side is this, or the good thing is this side you don't actually see. It's tucked away into the bookcase. So worst comes to worst, it all goes bye-bye. Just be more careful, because this is going to be tucked into the wall, so you're not even going to see that. It's a shame that it all shattered in my hands, but it is what it is. All right, let's move on. There's no something over crying spilled potatoes. All right, we need an F23 and an F3. So we need an F23 and an F3. Here is an F23. Odd shape. Of course it doesn't want to come out. I mean, why would it? Why would it want to come out? Okay, that's an F23. And now we need an F3. Here is an F3. Yes, I have a bead of sweat coming down the left side of my forehead. I am perplexed at the brittleness of this. Okay, so this has to face this direction, and this connects onto that. Okay, so this here connects onto that, like so. Okay, and this connects where? That's so weird. I don't have a slot there. What? Is it behind the thing we glued on here? I gotta go peel this thing all off. No, I don't understand. It shows a slot on here, but that's connected to... I'm afraid I'm gonna have to break this piece off, folks. Because this is connected to its spot. There. Shush. Now we're getting into weird territory of crazy. Weird territory of crazy. Okay, that connects onto there. This connects onto here. Oh, be careful. Okay. Ah, you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what this is? This is the thing holding the curtains on. See it right there? That's the thing that's holding the curtains on. And you know what's really cool about this kit? Like I said about all the other kits, this one actually comes with cloth curtains that are like actually textured and have artistic designs on. Like they went out of their way to make a miniature so realistic. How sassy and beautiful is that? Look, scared away some viewers because I said sassy or God knows what else I said. Okay, it must have been the swearing. All right, so I'm gonna put this wall aside for the moment. We're gonna make some more books, it looks like. So we need A12. 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 Here's A12. Okay. A12, we want to flip it this way. We need an H10. H10, if you're just joining us, my name is Real Talk Chimp. Live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll continue with the shenaniganery of building the 3D wooden puzzle of the Book Nook Wonderland Silent Corner Study, TGE02 from Rolife, purchased off of Amazon. All the information, including the link to where to purchase this, is located in the description of this live stream, or if you're watching it back, archived on YouTube. Okay, here is H10 that we just pulled off here. And what does it say? Lady somebody's lover. If you can read that. Lady somebody's lover. Again, you could probably look these books up on the internet, see that they actually probably exist. Okay, so we're going to stick this on here as far over as we can. And then wrap it around like you do. Okay, so this one goes onto these two right here, it looks like. Yeah. So it goes up here. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. That sits up there like it's sitting at an angle on the shelf. And then we're going to build E17. Over here to... so many parts everywhere. Over to E. What did I want? I want E17, which is right here. E17, which needs to be turned that way, and then H17, which is right here. And that says, ooh, I can't read that one. That one's really squashed. Oh, Grapes of Wrath. Cute. Okay. Grapes of Wrath. That was a good book and a good play and a good movie. Okay, so we're going to turn it this way. I read the book first in school. I saw the play in college, and then eventually saw the movie on Netflix. Okay, so that one is there. Okay, that one goes down here to the big slot. Mr. Big Stuff. I can't sing anymore, get a copyright strike. There we go. Stuck on yonder. Okay, so we did this here, but we snapped that thing into pieces because we put it a little too rough. Then we did this here, and we built that, and we stuck them onto here, which is that piece right there, showing that we completed that, minus the part that we smashed into pieces. Okay, we're moving on. We're building another shelf. So we need F35. Here is F35. Okay, F35 is here. So we need G5. Here is G5. G5 wants to go onto the far left slots here. That's the sound of the train. Nope. Okay. Then we need C9. Here is C9. Looks like it's got a clock. A clock sitting on the shelf with the books. So a clock sitting behind. If I turn it to the right angle, you get the three-dimensional look. If I turn it this way, you can tell it's just a flat thing. Pretty cool. Goes right, skips a spot. No, it goes right here, but it curves. So there's another one that does not want to go. This is the second one I've had problems with. Oh, I just broke this piece off too. Stay over there. We have a remedy for things that don't fit. We cut them off. Goodbye. I know it's drastic, but sometimes it just needs to be done. Okay. What else? We need a D3. There is a D3. This is a divider. So this one goes here. We need a, okay, so now we're going to build in this inner window here. It wants us to make some, looks like another photograph. So we need E12 and A18, all right? I see A18 right here. There is A18, E12. E12. Here is E12 amongst all its little friends. E12. Okay. So first off, we'll put A16 onto E12. Like you do. And then we'll get an H37. Which is a little bunny rabbit. Getting punked again. Okay. Okay, now we're putting that off to the left here onto this section. Right there. Okay, so we're done with that. Come on, focus. Why don't you focus? Okay, we're flipping the page. From 14 over to hopefully 15. June is our 6th month. You are correct. June is our 6th month. Now, being that June is our 6th month, within 10 seconds, I want you to tell me what happened on June 7th, 1944. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amongst other things, the Battle of the Bulge, World War II, June 7th, 1944, the day that will live in infamy somehow, but that's not the correct date. June 7th, 1944 will be not a holiday, but it will be remembered in the sense that there could be air shows and parades. June 7th. But today is June 2nd, number 2. June 2nd, 2026. Okay, so now we need a G7. Roll the ball, looking for a G7. G7 is the what, climate? The climate group. G7, we got a bunch of encyclopedias, it looks like, possibly. All right, G7 goes on these two slots. Okay. And that was there. So now B5 and H15. So B5 over here. We have two B5s. Flip that down. B5 and an H15. H15, which is this, another Rolife 3D Book Nook right there. Cute. I like this advertising. Very sassy. It's another Book Nook. Okay. Little cattywampus, but I think we got it. Okay, that one goes in that slot. Okay, that's that. So now we need a D5. There is a D5. Okay. And we need a H16. There is H16 right here. I'm not sure if I can read that. Yeah, I know, we haven't, I don't see any chimpanzees in here. I mean, like I said, there is a cat. So we know that there's monkeys in here. But chimpanzees, yeah, I'm a little disappointed as well, which means that I will make a chimpanzee sticker and put it somewhere on my own in this thing. In fact, you know what I will do? I'll miniaturize like the banner on my Real Talk Chimp YouTube channel, that banner. I'll miniaturize that down into a little tiny sticker, which I think I have some stickers in the Real Talk Chimp store. I think I'm gonna do something like that and stick one up on the wall, even though there's no space. There's not gonna be any spaces anywhere to do it in here, but I think I can figure something like that out. Or one of you wonderful artists can figure something like that out. Okay, so this one goes right here. Squishy sound. And then what is that shape? An E22. E22 is going to be over here somewhere. An E22. Here's an E22. I liked all those little faces that came flying up the screen. How dare this guy have a library with no chimpanzees, right? All right, E22 is an odd shape. It goes right there. And then what gets placed on it? All right, we need to build this thing here. We need an F20 and an H19. An F20. F20. Here is F20. An F20 and an H19. Here's an H19. It's got an iron cross on it, but it doesn't have any writing on it that I can see. It's pretty small. Oh my Lord, I maybe need an adult. Oh, it's like perforated in multiple spots. Please don't tear. Oh my God, I hope that was supposed to be like that. Yes, it is supposed to be like that. Weird. All right, F20 with the arrow facing to the right. Okay, how do we do this? How do you want this? Want it like this? Like that. Oh, it's gotta face the correct way. Like so. Wrap it around. I guess you can't watch what I'm doing, sorry. Okay, really weird looking. Okay, so this turns this way. It's placed on top of here, like so. And what goes on top of that? We make another one. So we're going down here, and we need F19. F19. Here is F19. All right, F19. Which arrow is facing that direction? And then we need H18, which has got a butterfly on the front of it. It says butterflies. It just says butterfly. Butterfly. Yep, I'm gonna have to get Mike to come here and be my Ghostbuster. Tell that ghost to go away and stop knocking my stuff over. Okay, so this gets reversed upside down this way. So this goes. Wraps around. I don't know how this is going to work, but okay, now this one gets planted on top of this one here. I gotta cut this out. That don't make no sense. Okay, very strange, but all right. Are we done with that? I got two other slots on there. Are we abandoning said slots? Going right to the curtains? Ah, this is a top shelf. This is a top shelf because they want me to make a curtain rod with said curtains. Uh-oh. We need F36. Here's F36. Make this one tricky to come out. Please don't break. All right, so this one is very strange. So we got to do some folding. Some folding. That didn't work. Oh, you're going to make this difficult, aren't you? You are going to make this difficult for me. my tiny arthritic hands, my giant tiny arthritic hands. Nope, we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Like we're sewing. I guess you can't see if I can't turn the camera that way. Doesn't have any natural folds at all. Because in my Book Nook, I decide how my curtains work. You don't decide for me. Apparently I fucked them all up. Oh, I screwed them all up, I meant. Okay, so that does not work. Why do I have to fold all this stuff? You should have made it paper and not freaking actual cloth. Because now I got to figure out how on earth to get it all folded up here. You know how we do things like this? We get a twisty. We find a twisty. And we put our twisty around it. Gotta go through everything to get to said twisty. I need some new fingers, please. It's just because I've collected so much crap. I need an actual toolbox someday. Someday I will buy a toolbox and put all said crap into toolbox. We will take said twisty Do not try this at home. I am not a trained professional. We have a twisty. We will improvise. That is what we will do. We will improvise. We will overcome. We will adapt. We will adapt and we will overcome and we will, never mind. All foldy McFoldertons. Put our twisty son of a mother father. Folks, this is what is known as shenaniganery. There we go. I made it. I did it myself. I came up with it. Poop on you. Shenaniganery. All right, so now this goes under here. Like so. Please don't break. Please don't break. Oh, my Lord. So, like so. Whew. Okay. I think we have completed that, so let's take a look here. We did that, the folding of a really strange book, and then we had this thing, and then it told us to fold it all up, what I couldn't do, into that shape so that I could put that thing on there, and then eventually snap it to that thing right there, all folded nice and neatly. Nope. We are flipping the page and moving on. Okay, so now it shows us what it's supposed to look like. and what it looks like when a chimpanzee does it. No laughs? Okay. All right, so now we are working on, adding it to our wall with our broken desk. We are now adding it to this slot and this slot. And since we're on our third hour now, my name is Ricky with Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. This is part 1 of the Silent Corner Study from Rolife, the Book Nook and Wonderland series. Item number TGE02, the 3D wooden puzzle that I am putting together. Part 1. If I can finish it within 4 hours, then I'll finish it. Otherwise, we'll do what we're going to do here. So we're live streaming on YouTube at Real Talk Chimp. Michael 070 Knight is the moderator on the stream there, so you can chat with him. Remember to like, comment, share at Real Talk Chimp with your friends and family, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers soon. We tried to do it in last month. We didn't get it. But we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers, 5,000 before the end of the year. Okay? We're only looking at 40 more subs for 4,000 subscribers. So send at Real Talk Chimp to your friends and family. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I don't do giveaways that often, if ever. I'll make you a deal. If you get us 40 more subscribers and get us past 4,000 subs, I will tell all the primates in all the zoos around the world not to throw poop at your grandma the next time she goes to the zoo. I think that's a pretty good thing. Nobody wants to see that home video of their grandma getting poop thrown at them. I mean, some of us do, but we'll watch that back on, one of those crazy channels. So we just connected that. We want to take this thing and tuck it into the curtain rod holder doohickey, which is right here. We're going to need this to do that. There we go. Tucked all in nice and purdy-like. Can even get our twisty in there. Okay, so we have sassy curtains now. Sassy curtains. Nope, don't fall over. Okay, we'll set that aside. So that is what we have done. Connected it there. Tucked it into the doohickey. And now we shall work on this area here. All right, so we need F34, which makes me think this may be it, because this is the last one. And this fell off of this area, I believe. Let me see. That did fall off of there. So that's F34. And we shall move it like so. So we need B21. Mike, what's for dinner? I'm getting kind of hungry. B21, which is right here. And we need H13. So I ordered some food the other night from TB, from this place, which I'm not getting any endorsements or anything. And this is the first time like DoorDash, using DoorDash. I've never used DoorDash before. So I ordered 3 items and a drink. And, about 15 minutes later, I hear something at the door. Now, In my instructions, I specifically put meet me at the front door because I have a tip for the guy. I want to give him a tip as well as he gets the digital tip. But so he starts to put things on the ground, and I turn and I see him standing over there. So I go over to the doorway, open the door, and he puts down a drink, and I'm like, yeah, but I ordered 3 items. Well, all I have is this drink here. I'm like, bro, I spent $36. I'm about to give you a $10 tip. Where's the rest of the food? All I have is drink. This is not cool, man. All I have is drink. I'm like, what language are you speaking? He says, I'm Russian. I said, all right, that's cool, man. All right, das vidanya. So I contact TB and I say, DoorDash just came and delivered, it says it's been delivered, but all he dropped me was the drink. Where are the other items that I ordered? She said, it's not Taco Bell's fault. You have to contact DoorDash. So I start looking on the internet. There's no phone number for DoorDash. I dig deeper. I find a phone number, and it's just a loop recording. So I lose everything. So I went in yesterday. I went into Taco Bell, and I said, hey, man, this happened. This is all on the app. You guys told me that I got to call DoorDash. DoorDash has no phone number. This is ridiculous. I lost $6 despite the $4 root beer you guys gave me. She goes, I don't know why these delivery drivers do this. They do this all the time. They come up to the rack and they just grab one item and leave. And they leave all the food there. And we end up having to throw the food out at the end of the night or whatever. And I'm like, well, whose fault is that? Somebody needs a little bit more quality control, right? So she's like, all right. I'm talking to 3 different people. Of course, they're all talking in Spanish to me. They're all talking in Spanish amongst themselves, so they think, this white guy standing there doesn't understand a word they're saying. But little do they know, mi español es muy poquito. I understood every word they said, including the Russian guy. And yeah, so they ended up giving me one of the items and then gave me like a coupon card to be able to come back and get. So that was, I don't ever want to use DoorDash again. I've heard afterwards, I started watching, I went down the rabbit hole of, how people make thousands of YouTube videos on one thing and you go down the rabbit hole. I went down the rabbit hole of people having problems with DoorDash and stuff like that. And I'm never going to use them again. Sorry. I'm not endorsing the company or anything. I'm just saying from my own experience, I've never had a problem in the past, but then I've never used that company before. I've always used whatever their delivery systems were. All right, B21 needs H13. Damn it, I got the hiccups. See now, talking about food, and I get the hiccups. All right, what is this? This looks like a photo album or an encyclopedia or something very old because it doesn't have any writing on it. Ooh, a paperclip. You're right. A paperclip would be great instead of the twisty. I don't even know if I have a paperclip. Paperclip is one of those things like stamps or envelopes. If you really think about it, when was the last time you signed a check in a checkbook, put it in an envelope, licked the envelope, put a stamp on the envelope? I don't remember the last time I've even sent a letter out. These are things that did away like the dodo and the payphone. I don't think I've used a checkbook in 10 years. I've done everything electronically. Okay, so we made our first little book, and it needs to go this way. It needs to go right here. It needs to go right there. I made the little squish there. Okay, so now we need E15 and H12. E15. Right here. Sorry for letting you hear my sob story as I vented, but now I'm even more hungry. Okay, so I said this is E15, and we need H12. Here is H12. What is that? I don't know what that is. Like a Roman statue? I'm not sure. There's not a chimpanzee. I know that. Could be a chimpanzee. Let's see if you can see what that is. I don't know what that is. Almost looks like a samurai. I do not know. Okay. So if you have any crazy stories like that, can you type them in the comment section? I'd like to hear about it. Whether you're watching this live stream or you're watching it back archived on YouTube. Tell me your crazy story. I'm curious. Maybe I'm the only one. Okay. Those two are there now. So now we need G10. That's C. G10 is over here. Okay, we need G10, which is right here. Looks like a bunch of more encyclopedia type critters. G10, all right, where does G10 go? G10 goes on the front here. Squish, I like this squishy sound. Okay, that's G10. Now we need C4. C4, which is on this page. Here is C4. C4 goes right here into this slot here. We use our other hand here. Oh boy. Okay, C4 is there. Oh, they want me to take this book and lean it over. Like so. Okay, that's shown in this diagram right here. Actually, it looks like big book. They want big book to lean that direction, so we'll lean big book over as best as we can. We can't really do that very well, but I think that way is better. Okay. And then we need C5 and C8. So here's C5. C5 goes on the corner here in these two slots, hopefully. Perfect. And C8, which is here. Stuck to my hand. Goes into these two slots. Perfect. So we still have a few slots left. So this is what we did. Okay. We'll flip the page to 17. Okay, so these are the last two items that go here. We need a B5 and an H11. B5 is over here. Here's a B5. An H11. Here is an H11. A very dark thing. I don't even know if I can read this. The final diagnosis. Let's see if I can turn this somehow so you can see it. Come on. Come on. Can you read that? The final diagnosis. a medical book here. Okay. So this one just goes right on top of this one here. Okay. And this one goes on this slot right here, right behind the paper thing that we stuck here. Okay, like so. And then we need an A1 and an E13. So we need an A1. Here is an A1. There's A1, and we need an E13. I think E is all the way out over here. There's E13 right here. Okay. So then we take, let's see, the up arrow like so. So we take this guy, we put him through here, like so. Okay. And then we take H9, which is a photograph again. It's kitties! Why is it slanted like that? That don't make no sense. Kitties! Oh boy. Okay. So how does this work? Did I grab the wrong one? Oh, I did grab the wrong one. Son of a mother, father, sister, and brother. H9. Here we go, H9. Not kitties. Just looks like a landscape. Okay, we got H9. We stick H9 onto E13. Nope. That was cattywampus. Okay. And we put this a D4. I need a D4. Anybody got a D4? D4. Calling once, calling twice. We need a bookshelf separator, D4. Who's got bingo? Anybody have bingo with D4? No? Okay. D4 goes here. I didn't see that step. And then this critter goes right here. Oh, don't break. Thank you. Okay, so what we did was this here, the B5 with the 11, and we stuck that down. And then we did an A1 into an E13, an H9 onto an E13, and stuck it right there. But we put the divider in there. See that? That's the one I didn't see at the last moment. D4, the divider in there. And we come up with that, which is that. Okay, now it wants us to put it onto the wall of shame. So we grab our wall of shame, and we're going to put this guy up at the very top. without breaking anything, hopefully. Oh boy. There we go. Oh yes. I love the squishy sound. I love the nightlife. I love to boogie. There we go. We put that all on there. Which was this. So now it wants us to connect this side onto our base we have been building. So it goes into these big slots right here. Big slots. Yay! Not fitting very gingerly on here. Let's see. Okay. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Putting out here. Oh, broke that little critter right there. Let me see if I can glue this down. Too much. All right, you know what? I'm going to try to glue the other stuff over there if I can. I know even though you don't see it, you still kind of see it, looks like, until we put the other crap here. So let's see if I can do this. This is straight up surgery here. I gotta move the camera out of the way. I can't do it with the camera. Parts are too small. Okay, it doesn't want to go in, so I gave it the good old college try, folks. I'm sorry. I gave it the good old college try, but let's see if I can glue this floor piece down here. Give it the illusion. The illusion that something is there. I don't have to touch it. That's pretty good. There you go. Even though we're missing that little piece right there, there'll be a plant there covering that spot up. Close the glue down so we don't let it dry up. Okay, so we have put said wall onto base. Okay, so let's see what we got on this side here. Let's figure this out. What is that? What is that shape? That is an E7. That is an E7. So you want me to put this between where? You want me to? Hey, Sam. Hey, Sammy. Come here, monkey. Sammy, you want to say hi to Michael? You want to say hi to... Come over here. Do you want to say hi to Michael? Come over here, Sam. Sam, say hi, Michael. Can you say hi, Michael? Sam? Hello? Hello? Oh, you got a tail wag. How's that? All right. So this has to go in between these books somehow. Okay, that's kind of cool because it locks that shelf on there. And then you want me to do an F2. F2, that's an E, that's a G. This is an F. An F2, which is right here. And where does this F2 go? Goes onto the side here. So we put it onto that tab and that tab. Okay. Let's turn this way a little bit here so I can see this. Okay. Why do you not want to go on there? Are you misaligned? No. That one goes on. What about this one? Are you really misaligned on here? You are misaligned. That's not cool. Am I doing this wrong? No. Wow, you're misaligned. You're really misaligned. Why did they do this to you? I think you should call and complain. That's really weird. Okay, let's try this again. That one goes there. But this one... What if I just put only the top one on? What if I don't put any of them on? I guess I can't put it on here. Why would this happen? Why would you do this? Oh, I don't want this to break. It will not fit. You must acquit. I think we have found our first piece that we have to glue together. That even though it says right here, no glue, these parts will not fit. They are misaligned. They are misaligned. That is so not cool. Well, sorry to say, gotta glue it. Did it to yourself. Lang you mocked. I don't know why. That is the first part, despite the thing that I broke. Well, I can't even. That is really sad. I actually have to glue something and I can't even get it to stay because it's so wonky. Rolife, I'm very disappointed right now. I do not want to snap that. Gonna hold it together here. Please stay. Please stay. Just stay there, please. I know you don't want to fit. Just stay there for me. Stay there for Sammy. Okay. C2. C2. Here is C2. And where does C2 go? C2 goes on top here into that little spot. Well, let's follow the wood grain if we can. Why would you have me do this now? Oh, there we go. Lovely. Okay. This is really sad that I can't get this piece to fit here. Real sad. All right, so what we did was we put that piece there. And then we very angrily tried to put this piece on. It refused to go, so we had to glue it. And then we stuck that in there. Okay, so now we're hanging up a picture, a picature. We are making one of these, an A13 and an H20, and then putting it right there. An A13, which is right here. L, and a T, which is right here. More butterflies. No chimpanzees, but more butterflies. Oh my Lord. I need some help, Sammy. I got it. I got it, Sam. No need to ruffle your feathers. Okay, so now I gotta stick this to here. Busted off a corner. No, it got folded underneath. Son of a monkey loving. We got our flutter by picture. And now we have to connect it up yonder. Dar. Okay. And now we need a ceiling. E5. 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 We have an E5 right here. E5. Here we go. We are going to try to figure out how to connect E5 and all its sass to the top of this thing. To the part that does not want to fit. We got that side, but we're having a problem over here. Why are we having a problem over here? Why do you not want to go into your spot? There we go. Okay. We've got that on there. Okay. So what we did is we started over here. We saw that. Okay, then we went down here. We put the butterfly picture to wall. We connected the ceiling or the top of the bookshelf. And that is our creation. Okay. For those of you that did not see the beginning, the unboxing, the tutorial, etc., we made one of these cool little light things. There's the bulb. The touchpad is on the step right here. We built all that when we built the base. You touch that. You touch that, and the little LED comes on. But luckily, we kept the batteries in here because inside here, there's a switch right there, a light switch, and we had a little screwdriver that came with the kit, and we unscrewed that to put the batteries inside. So those of you that did not get to see all that fun stuff, like, share, comment, subscribe. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers before the end of my session here, 5,000 subscribers before the end of 2026 or more, 10,000 subscribers before, 1,000,000 subscribers before. Upload content almost daily, even the weekends. We live stream video games when we are doing those kinds of things. And lately I have been doing a wooden puzzle a couple of days, and then I go and I do these paintings that take me 5 days or so, and I do it in different parts. We are working on said 3D wooden puzzle, which is Rolife's Book Nook and Wonderland series, Silent Corner Study. And if you have been following me, you've seen that I painted the cozy reading nook, which looked similar to this. And I said, I am going to find a 3D wooden puzzle that looks just like my cozy reading nook. Although this one doesn't have a lazy boy chair, this one has a rocking chair. Still, sassy. TGE02. That is what we have been working on. Hi, Sammy. You say hi to Michael. Can you say hi to Michael? Or was part of that hi to Michael? He will chew on his foot for you. How's that? Okay. We're going to take this to 4 hours. We have about 11 minutes left here. And then we'll make a part 2 another time. Batteries are not included, unfortunately. You have to buy the batteries separate. 2 AAA batteries you have to buy on your own. Most of these kits do not come with batteries or glue or tools, and you got to provide your own, which is fine because I bought a plastic and wood toolkit off of Amazon, which came with X-Acto blade, files, tweezers, all kinds of shite. All right, we need an E6 and a G3. We need an E6, which is a window frame, which is right here. Okay, so this is all going to pop out. An E6. We're done with E7, so we can completely remove this piece. And a G3, which is right here. G3. Okay. So we're going to face it this way. We're going to connect. This is painted on both sides, so that's good. This onto here. Like you do. That one connected very easily. We'll put that aside. We're going to take an F5, and we've got the green splotch. And we go to our reference guide, and we say that the green splotch is the blank side. All right. So we're going to take F5. F5. Right here. This big monstrosity. F5. I like how they make this perforated wood stuff so that you can make this all bendy like. So this would be the blank side. The blank side will be the top side. Now we're going to wrap this around this. Oh, really? But it doesn't want to stay wrapped. Okay, how about can we flip it around? No, it has to go this way. There's no other way. So we connected down here, connected here. We try to connect it here. We try to connect it. That isn't even the right size. You must be crazy. You want the blank side here, but this, it just can't be done. You put the dingus in the dingus. The dingus is in the wrong dingus. You put that side there, sir. You put the big, okay, you know what I screwed up. Fine, I screwed up. Blame me. I'm the guy that made the mistake, but that doesn't make sense. Look at the tab here. See the tab here? Tab here is big here and little here. See this? That's little there. Okay, fine, I must have screwed up somehow. How did I screw this up? I can't put the blank side down. That wouldn't make sense. If I put this way, I rotate this way. This has to go like this. It has to. It has to go like this. It has to. So if we do the blank side, it has to fit. Okay. Stay. You don't want me to glue anything, but somehow I feel like I want to glue something here. Don't you dare break. Don't make me call your mother. I'll do it. That is cool. That is a neat looking thing there. That is super slick. Super slick. Look at that. What does that mean? Wait a second. Oh, you're just showing me how to connect it. Okay. I'm like, you want me to put a second one on here? What the hell is that? That's that one, and then they're showing me how to rotate this around to get it. Okay. So now we need an E2. An E2. The reason why we go 4 hours is because my cell phone doesn't seem to hold charge for more than 4 hours. So here is an E2. Right here. It's like a wrought iron window. Oh, guess that was supposed to come out. E2. Please don't break. Oh, now it looks like it's a wrought iron window, doesn't it? The shapes and stuff of it. Okay, so this guy goes this direction into here, to those slots, like so. Of course not. Of course I have it upside down. Of course. Please do not break. Okay, we got one in there. You only want one side? We're not putting in a second side? Oh, please don't make me put in a second side another time. Okay, so you want me to snap said window onto the wall here. Okay. Here. Or not. Sorry. Oh! Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. I told you there'd be shenaniganery. Like so. Kind of wonky on here for some weird reason. Okay. All right, I think we're going to stop here because I really got to go use the restroom. We have got a lot accomplished in this part 1. So we'll stop here. My name is Real Talk Chimp. Well, my name is Ricky. I live stream on YouTube channel Real Talk Chimp. That's RealTalkChimp. I am building the Rolife Book Nook and Wonderland series Silent Corner Study. Item number TGE02. I want to thank Michael Knight, 070 Knight, for moderating on said live stream. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll catch you on the flip side. Peace and chicken grease, everyone. Have a good night.